Welcome to the third part of our video series on abstract art. Today we are tackling an often controversial aspect. We will discuss why abstract art can be so expensive, encompassing the top 5 most expensive abstract artists in the world. We have partnered up with Masterworks as the ideal video sponsor for this particular topic and for the many collector investor subscribers following this channel. It is safe to say people have a lot more trouble valuing abstract artworks in comparison to figurative works or old master paintings. A deceivingly simple painting shows up at auction. A black plane and a white plane contrast vertically in the middle of the canvas. But nevertheless, the painting sells for millions of dollars, followed by sensational headlines in the newspapers and consternation among the public opinion, commenting my 5-year-old could have done that. So, why in the world is abstract art so expensive? The economic value of an abstract artwork is determined by the art historical importance of the artwork in question, followed by the law of supply and demand and its potential return on investment. Art starts where decoration is transcended. An abstract painting with no art historical value is rather a decoration than it is art. As a result, the economic value of the artwork would be very low. But when the artwork in question was groundbreaking at the time it was made, paving the way for numerous artists who followed, the artwork will be a lot more expensive. That's why Jackson Pollock's action paintings sell for millions of dollars, and the drip paintings by your 5-year-old sell for a little bit less, but nevertheless they are priceless as well. Then there is the law of supply and demand. If the artist succeeds in creating compelling abstract artworks, a natural effect would be a higher demand for those artworks, resulting in a higher asking price. For instance, it is very rare when a true masterpiece by an iconic abstract artist shows up at auction. So a bidding war can elevate the estimated value even further. This brings us to the third element, the potential return on investment when acquiring an abstract artwork, or any artwork. Investing in blue chip art has been outperforming stocks over the past 25 years, but it was only accessible to the super wealthy. If you buy an artwork from an artist who is very well known, has a steady selling history, and is continuing to rise in the art world, chances are you could sell this painting in a few years, making a profit. As a result, the market value of art is boosted once more, making an abstract artwork by the right artist an interesting asset for an investor. The problem is, however, these blue chip artworks cost a couple of $100,000 at the low end of the spectrum, if you are lucky enough to find a gallery that wants to sell them to you in the first place. And the absolute masterpieces, well, then we're talking about tens of millions of dollars. So, either we purchase prints by those established artists, or we invest by collecting emerging artists. However, as many of us might have experienced, both are very uncertain when it comes to having an actual return on your investment. Our sponsor of this video offers a solution for this issue for our collector investor subscribers. Invest in blue chip artists with Masterworks. Masterworks is an award-winning company that allows you to invest in shares of paintings from these artists. Think of a Gerhard Richter abstract or an Infinity Net by Yayoi Kusama. Artworks that are out of our reach. But with Masterworks, you can diversify your art collection and commit your funds to established blue chip artists as well. It is the very first platform for buying and selling shares as an investment in iconic artworks, and currently has around 500,000 users. They purchase an actual masterwork and give their users the opportunity to become a share-based owner of that artwork. To date, Masterworks has sold 6 paintings, returning a net average of 29% to their investors, which are, of course, incredible results. Masterworks make investing in iconic masterpieces accessible to everyone. And I believe we can all agree, it is much more exciting as well. So, if you would be interested in investing in blue chip art, use the link in the description which has been reserved especially for our subscribers, and skip the waiting list. Now, let's get back to the most expensive abstract artist in the world, and maybe we'll discuss the next blue chip artist you'll be investing in. In May 2018, Kazimir Malevich's Suprematist composition realized a whopping $85.8 million at Christie's in New York. A record figure at auction, not just for a work by Kazimir Malevich, but by any Russian artist. Max Carter, the head of Christie's Impressionist and Modern Art department in New York, states that the painting has the virtue of having both historical importance and extraordinary beauty. Malevich's take-up of abstraction was one of art's great thunderclap moments. Malevich's suprematist abstractions broke with the past and articulated the future. These works are very rare, and great examples in private hands are rarer still. Painted in 1916, it would be included in every single major survey of Malevich's suprematist works during his lifetime, including what's widely regarded as his landmark International Retrospective in Berlin in 1927. It boasts one of the artist's most sophisticated interplays of color and geometric form on a white canvas, ticking all the boxes of the aforementioned three aspects why abstract art can be so expensive: art historical importance, supply versus demand, and the longevity of the artwork as a long-term investment. In fourth place, we encounter Anna's Light from 1968 by Barnett Newman, the same artist of our black and white painting in the introduction. The painting in question was sold for a dazzling $105.7 million in October 2013. It is in fact the largest painting the artist produced during his career, and when standing before this canvas with its huge plane of cadmium red that seems to dye the surrounding light in its hue, the viewer can't help but be overwhelmed by its presence. Newman's working method was to approach each canvas with a fresh mind and no prior scheme for how the new work should evolve, and the work's title was given after its completion, as a symbol of the feelings that emerged during the creative process. The title of this giant red painting takes the name of the artist's mother, Anna, who had passed away 3 years before the painting was created. With its minimal composition, this work may at first appear to be a product of reason, devoid of any human emotion, but in fact it is a very human creation, harboring the depth of the painter's intellect and emotions. In third place, we encounter an artist with arguably the most multi-million-dollar sales in the world. The painting Number 6, Violet, Green and Red from 1951 by Mark Rothko sells for $186 million in August of 2014. We find three main bands of color, with a narrow stripe of green sitting between two expanses of violet and red. In many photographs of this piece, the violet actually appears more like a tone of blue. As is typical of Rothko's approach, each of these three main areas of color are softened around the edges, with some parts of the background tones showing through. The piece would reach this extraordinary price when changing hands between two private collectors, having previously been purchased for around $80 million. Rothko was seen as an excellent investment opportunity, and many modern artists from the 20th century have been seen in this way in recent years. The individuals purchasing such items now come from a truly global background too. With wealth spreading into Eastern Europe, Asia and the Middle East, Western artists appear to be seen in most cases as the safest artists to invest in, with impressive returns for those who select the right ones. In second spot, we encounter a Jackson Pollock painting. This time, the famous abstract expressionist shocked the world with a whopping $200 million for the painting Number 17A from 1948. The painting had been sold through a private sale from the David Geffen Foundation to Kenneth C. Griffin. The painting in question featured in the edition of Life, the magazine issue that would make Pollock not only an artist but also a celebrity. The drip painting was received with great scrutiny and was not so popular in the public opinion at first. As a result, the value of the painting in 1948 was rather low due to the underwhelming first reactions. However, as Pollock became a truly established artist in the years shortly after, the mocking turned into applause, and the low value would reach incredible heights, culminating in this massive sale in 2015. Now, the most expensive contemporary artwork in the world is abstract. It is the painting titled Interchange from 1955 by Willem de Kooning. In September of 2015, the David Geffen Foundation sold the painting by manner of a private sale to the entrepreneur and investor Kenneth C. Griffin for a mind-boggling 300 million US dollars. As you might have noticed, on the very same day, Griffin also bought our silver medalist, Pollock, spending 500 million US dollars on just 2 paintings the very same day. Although the painting seems to be pure abstraction, the pinkish paint represents a seated woman in the center of the canvas. The painting is a truly iconic example of how de Kooning abandoned the figure, embracing lyrical abstraction by manner of more discrete references to the body, inspiring generations of gestural painters. The artist finished the painting in 1955, before selling it for just 4,000 US dollars during the same year. 6 years later, the painting was sold for 75,000 times more, becoming temporarily the most expensive artwork in the world. Today, the painting is the second most expensive artwork in the world, with only Leonardo da Vinci's Salvator Mundi surpassing the de Kooning's work by a distance of 150 million US dollars, however. You can have a look at Masterworks via the link in the description, and I really like this concept of being able to invest in artworks that are out of our reach, that you would want to invest in but are unable to. So I'm definitely considering to giving it a try, and when I do, I will try to create a follow-up video as well. But of course, first make sure to do your own research when it comes to the terms, conditions and fees. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch the previous video of this series in which we discuss 20 highly influential abstract artists next. Support us on Patreon and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.